we're all naive if we think that politics go away when the election is over.
Wisconsin residents have been inundated with political advertising for 2 straight years. The flood of political turmoil started with the 2010 elections for governor and U.S. House and Senate seats. It continued last summer with the failed recall of Governor Scott Walker. Officials, candidates, and voters look forward to a time of healing and normalcy.
The further we get away from that period in our state's history, the more that the wounds will start to heal, scab over, and there'll be some scars left, but I think over time those will fade too. So yeah, absolutely, I think things will start to normalize.
I think when we get back to reality, get back to day-to-day life, we start to realize that we are more alike than we are different.
People are tired of it. They want to go back to doing the things that are important to them in life other than politics. And a rest is going to do us all good.
With hope, there is also doubt. With the deep divisions between the Democrats and the Republicans, people are crossing their fingers, hoping for cooperation.
It's just two factions that won't agree on anything. And that saddens me.
I don't know. It'd be nice if they did, but knowing human nature, they kind of like to drag it along,
Despite the hope and doubt, there is relief that it's all finally over. The ads have stopped, the calls are done, and people's mail is back to being just bills.
Hallelujah, brother.
Yeah, my phone can kind of take a break,
I think we're all very happy. Everybody I know who are Democrat or Republican is absolutely thrilled it's over, and we don't have to get these phone calls anymore.
There's a lot of mess over here, and you can see the remnants.
A 110-year-old problem at Owen Park will finally be resolved starting Monday. The Eau Claire Gas and Light Company once sat on this space in Owen Park over 110 years ago. The plant, which produced coke and gas to fuel streetlights and homes in Eau Claire, was demolished and covered over, leaving contaminated soil at the site. The Wisconsin DNR, with pressure from the federal government, has ordered Xcel Energy, which acquired the Eau Claire Gas and Light Company, to clean up the contaminated area. Phil Fieber, director of Eau Claire's Parks and Forestry Department, says the city could have declined Xcel's offer, but if any modification to the park were to take place, the city would be paying for it.
It's unfortunate that we're going to lose 60 trees, but we don't want to be stuck with the bill for this remediation, because the remediation could cost millions of dollars.
A 6-foot fence will be put around the site, which stretches from the Chippewa River to First Avenue, and from the band shelter to the playground near Lake Street. Excavation of the contaminated soil will then begin. Fieber says the process of removing the soil and replacing it should be done by January. Come springtime, the walking trail will be reopened, new trees and grass will be planted, as well as the utility works for a planned restroom and shelter facility will be put in place. Fieber says the city heard input from many residents and took their time to make sure the plan fulfilled the city and the community's needs.
So the plan was, if we're going to mess up the park, let's just mess it up once. Let's figure out what we want it to look like when it's done.
The final plans call for a new roofed shelter area, a new restroom facility, a clear view of the Chippewa River, as well as a stepped path to the water's edge. Fieber says despite the short-term inconvenience to the city's residents, the remediation is good in the long term.
We're ready for them to get going and get it done, and it's unfortunate that we're going to lose all those trees, but at least we're going to have this contamination cleaned up, and future generations won't have to worry about it.
There are a handful of states that will determine the outcome of this election, and Wisconsin is one of them.
Large crowds turned out to see Vice Presidential nominee Paul Ryan and former President Bill Clinton speak in Eau Claire on Wednesday. Congressman Ryan spent just under half an hour talking to the crowd of over 1,000 people at the Florian Gardens. He stressed a number of topics, including the economy and the importance of this upcoming election.
It is not just these jobs issues. This is the kind of an election where we are literally determining the trajectory of our country for a long time.
Ryan talked about his Wisconsin roots, which appealed to voters and left the crowd impressed.
I thought it was really good. I thought he spoke for the young people, and I was happy.
Oh, it's awesome. Man, I tell you, this is a great team we have, and really excited about this election.
Almost 9 hours after Ryan's speech finished, former President Bill Clinton was at the Ramada campaigning for President Obama. Clinton stopped outside the hotel to speak to a crowd of nearly 300 before he entered the hotel and spoke in front of 800 people about the differences between the Romney campaign and Obama's.
They put ideology over evidence, illusion over arithmetic. And they put trickle down over middle class America.
Clinton highlighted the differences in the two parties' economic and education policies, which appealed to those in attendance.
It was great. He's such a, I don't know, I feel like he's so relatable, you know? Maybe it was just because I was in the front row.
I mean, President Clinton is a great public speaker, and he did a great job of, connecting with the audience. He's always good at that.
With the time ticking away to this year's election, both parties are campaigning hard in Wisconsin, which figures to be a key swing state.